Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Frank here from Reaper Air Defense. Welcome back to the channel and Happy New Year to all. I actually took a long holiday. I needed time to think about, the new year. But let's focus on the HDR 50 mag. I've seen a lot of comments regarding this, whether it works, whether it doesn't. Okay, so this is a quick brief history. So a year ago, around January, I used to save all of my work to an external hard drive because I'm old school like that. And lo and behold, sometime after that it crashed and I lost a lot of work. But that was last year. So what we did was, I actually started, since I had a one-to-one demo, I've kind of started redrawing this. So let's just go over the pain points of where I left off with this project. So number one, if we zoom in here, primarily I was intending on using this with steel balls, 12.7 chrome steel ball bearings, but I needed something to retain it in front of the bolt, so I experimented heavily with the magnetic detent. And even though I thought I could have been successful, this didn't prove as a good alternative, especially when I use the coated nylon with ball bearing ammo. So I wanted something that works for all kinds of ammo, which brought me to my next version. So here is revision 1.2. It looks almost identical because I took all of my measurements from the previous one. So one thing I did do is I printed the swivel one-piece follower. I should have printed this in resin, but this is just for experimental, for educational purposes. So that works. So I've got everything how it should work. And another thing I did was I designed a small detent made out of TPU. Now, I've been struggling like 3 hours yesterday to get a decent print out of it because I don't have a smaller nozzle, but I've used the best one out of the bunch. That's why this countersink hole is here for. So you will note there's a nut in the back. So you're supposed to use the countersink to retain your detent in place, especially when the bolt rubs here. So far so good, I assume. I have some ammo here from, this Amazon style ammo. They're a little bit undersized, like 12.4. So let me just pop in a few. Let me tension up my spring. See that? Let me pause this quickly. Let me just get something to poke the round out of the detent, so I can just show you on camera before we even go to simulating it in a real HDR 50. Okay, let's quickly simulate a bolt. So I've got an old T4E magazine follower from 43 cal. I'm gonna try and do this as quickly as possible to simulate the bolt action. You see that? And that's the last one. So I think that is a win. So the only thing I need to do now is get a smaller 0.2 nozzle and see if I can print it. Experiment with different orientations, but it's quite finicky to print. But I think in the end I'll just print this whole detent solid, slip it in here, take a 3mm drill bit and just drill through it and lock it into place. But this is where we're at, and hopefully tonight I'll put in the other half, and yeah, then we can bolt this whole thing together, load it up with some rounds, and then take it from that point. So just for transparency's sake and also to keep myself accountable, I've added this. I've added the HDR file of the top half, the detent and mag follower, um, just to keep myself also accountable so I can come back and update it and provide you guys with the full product. But that's where we're at. Stay tuned, about to get exciting. I might experiment with spherical projectiles as well. I've been working on a lot of things in the background. I've got a 16-gram adapter for the burner that I'm also gonna be bringing to light. Another thing, once this whole thing has been proven and it works, the best way to manufacture this will be SLS. If you don't know what SLS printing is, Google it. This is Frank from Reaper Air Defense. As I'm progressing, you might as well call me Lord of the Air. Cheers.